The anime opens with Amane walking home in the pouring rain. On the way, he sees a gorgeous girl sitting alone and soaked. Initially, he tries to brush it off, but when she starts crying, he can't resist offering her his umbrella.
俺が彼女、椎名真秀と話したのは、この時が初めてだった。
The next day at school, Amane catches a cold from giving away his only umbrella. His friend Itsuki becomes concerned. The girl is Shina Mahiru, a fellow student. People call her an angel because she's incredibly smart, athletic, and friendly, attracting the attention of many guys. When Amane arrives home, he discovers Shina outside her apartment, holding his umbrella. Seeing his feverish state, she asks how she can help. Despite being exhausted, Amane tells her to mind her own business, but he's too weak to even open his door before collapsing. Shina assists him in entering his messy apartment, instructing him to change and wait for the meal she's preparing. After a few minutes, she returns with delicious rice porridge, showcasing her impressive cooking skills. Intrigued, Amane asks why she was alone in the rain. Did she fight with her boyfriend? Shina explains that she doesn't have or want a boyfriend. She just needs to cool off. The next day on the balcony, Shina catches Amane having his dinner. She advises him to stop these unhealthy habits and provides him with proper food. When he returns the container, she offers him more, but Amane insists she's done enough and doesn't need to keep helping. Shina expresses that it makes her happy, and she can't bear to see her neighbor living poorly. Afterward, Shina started bringing dinner to Amane every night. One day, when she came to return the container, she noticed that his place was still a mess. She offered to clean his apartment. While they were cleaning, Shina accidentally stepped on a shirt and almost fell, but Amane caught her. She was a bit surprised. After finishing, Amane treated her to pizza for dinner since she had never tried it before. At home, she had a housekeeper who cooked. On his way home, Amane spotted Shina sitting in the park and asked what she was doing. Noticing fur on her clothes, he asked if she had been playing with a cat. Irritated, Shina clarified that she wasn't playing. She had climbed a tree to rescue a cat stuck up there. Amane noticed she had hurt her leg, explaining why she took off her shoe. He told her to stay put while he fetched a first aid kit. When he returned, Amane gave her his coat and asked her to remove her socks so he could bandage her ankle. Surprised, Shina asked why. He explained it was to attend to her injury and assured her he wasn't being creepy. While Amane looked away, she took them off. After applying ice and bandaging her ankle, he suggested she wear his jacket so others wouldn't see her with him. Huh? She had no freaking idea what was going on. Amane then carried her piggyback to their building. Before going inside, Shina thanked him. The next night, when he gave back the dinner stuff, he asked how she was feeling.
具合はどうだ？
もう痛みはほとんどありませんよ。完治するまで運動しないようにします。
She threw out the idea of cooking at his place for some homey meals. Amane, a bit surprised, appreciated the offer, but felt like he was asking too much. Shina, being cool about it, suggested they go halfsies on the ingredients. Amane agreed, but asked if she'd be comfortable alone with him.
感じないの？
何かするなら潰します。物理的に。再起不能に。
やだ、怖っ。ヒュンってしたわ。
But he also knew Shina had figured out he wasn't that kind of guy. Shina said she could tell he wasn't interested in her, which is why she offered to cook in the first place. The next day, as Shina cooked, Amane thought it was weird she was like his wife. Shina noticed his staring and jokingly asked, "See something you like?" Flustered, Amane insisted that wasn't it. When dinner was ready, Amane was amazed at how delicious it looked. After eating, they washed dishes together. Later, while checking her test answers, Shina said she'd score a perfect 100. Amane was impressed, but she replied he was good too. Amane said he had to keep his grades up decently to live on his own, but admitted Shina was clearly way smarter than him. As Shina left, Amane saw she'd left her ID. He was surprised to see her birthday was in 4 days. At school, Amane asked his buddy Itsuki and girlfriend Chitose what you should give a girl as a gift. Curious, Chitose asked, "Wait, do you have a girlfriend now?" No, just someone I know. Chitose suggested getting some nice cosmetics without prying further. Amane thought that was a good idea. On Sheena's birthday, after she finished cooking dinner, Amane gave her the gift. Surprised, Sheena asked what the extra gift was for. Amane admitted he'd seen her birthday on her student ID she left behind. Sheena didn't usually celebrate her birthday, but Amane insisted she take the gift anyway as repayment for all her help. The hand cream suited her no-fuss style. Amane shyly added another present based on his impression of her. She could toss it if she didn't like it. It was a cute stuffed teddy bear. "Seriously, I'll treasure this forever and ever," Sheena said, holding the bear tight. Amane quickly looked away, telling himself not to stare at her. Whoa, was he catching feelings for Sheena? Suddenly, Amane's mom showed up, wanting to check on him out of the blue. Reluctantly, Amane finally let her inside his apartment. She was shocked to see the tidy home and healthy-looking son. As she approached his bedroom, Amane panicked, saying he had embarrassing stuff lying around. He had told Sheena to hide in there 5 minutes earlier so his mom wouldn't get the wrong idea. Suspicious, Amane's mom entered the room anyway. Inside was a napping Sheena, whose angelic beauty took her by surprise. She just assumed this gorgeous girl must be Amane's girlfriend. But Amane insisted they were just friends. Not every boy-girl friendship is romantic. Hearing them, Sheena stirred awake. Amane's mom went over to her and asked, "Amane's girlfriend, what's your name?" Surprised, Sheena replied, "It's Mahiru Sheena." Amane's mom said to call her Shihoko. Sheena tried explaining she only cooked for Amane because he couldn't care for himself. But his mom was thrilled, convinced Amane had a caring girlfriend now. Amane said once she got an idea in her head, there was no changing her mind. Before leaving, she asked for Sheena's number. Amane apologized for the mix-up, but Sheena said she was happy to see how much his mom cared about him. Sheena looked glad to hear he had confidence in her. At school, Amane ranked 21st with 985 points on the exam. Sheena was first as usual with a perfect 1180 score. At home, Amane celebrated her awesome achievement with a cake. Sheena said he didn't need to go through the trouble. It wasn't anything special for her. But Amane insisted it was just a little treat for all her hard work. Sheena looked delighted eating the cake, like she hadn't had one in forever. She then hand-fed Amane a bite. Surprised, he ate it anyway. At school, Chitose asked to come to Amane's place for Christmas Eve. He refused, saying they'd have to change plans. Chitose asked why. He didn't have a girlfriend or anything. Didn't he want to hang with them? Amane reluctantly agreed if they left before dinner time. Amane told Sheena his friends were coming over and asked what her Christmas Eve plans were. She said her friends all had boyfriends now and she'd rejected any date offers, so she'd be alone. Worried, Amane asked if she'd be lonely by herself. Sadly, Sheena said she was used to it. Amane then invited Sheena to hang out together on Christmas, since she'd be alone otherwise. Sheena agreed and said they could try playing video games, which she'd never done before. On Christmas Eve, it suddenly started snowing while they were all partying. Shocked, Chitose and Itsuki rushed outside to see. They were surprised to also see Sheena there. Chitose asked what Sheena was doing kicking it at Amane's place. Sheena explained how they'd met and the cooking arrangement to repay Amane's favor. Hearing the story, Itsuki said they seemed like a married couple. But Sheena and Amane quickly clarified zero romantic vibes were going on. Amane asked them to keep Sheena on the down low at school to avoid any unnecessary drama. Itsuki and Chitose agreed to keep quiet. Chitose was mesmerized by Sheena's beauty and tried touching her face, but Amane stopped her, saying to mind her manners. Chitose asked if they could be friends and Sheena happily agreed. After they took off, Amane apologized to his nosy friends, but Sheena had enjoyed meeting such outgoing characters. On Christmas Day, as planned, Sheena played video games but struggled big time since she was such a newbie. Amane held her hand to guide her, then quickly pulled back, apologizing for touching her without asking. Sheena wasn't upset since Amane wasn't a stranger, just a bit surprised. Engrossed in the game, she accidentally fell right into Amane's lap. Embarrassed, she sat up quickly, as Amane laughed at how cute and clumsy she was. Afterward, Sheena said she really had a blast. Amane gave her a Christmas gift, a keychain for the apartment key he'd given her earlier. Sheena was super delighted. Seeing Amane's casual style, she was surprised his fashion sense was pretty good, but said it was way better back in middle school. Amane explained it was thanks to his mom's influence when he was younger. He asked how Sheena even knew about his middle school looks. Sheena mentioned the photo his mom had sent her. Amane was kinda worried about what other awkward pics his mom might send Sheena. Sheena gives Amane a Christmas present, a scarf. He's happy to receive it. Seeing her smile, Amane tells her how cute she looks, making her blush and cover her face with the scarf. Since it's cold outside, Amane puts a jacket on her, thanking her for the past 2 months. Sheena also expresses her gratitude. The next day, she comes to cook dinner. However, Amane notices Sheena is a bit red. He tells her to check if she has a fever. After checking, her temperature is 38 degrees Celsius. He told her to rest and that today he will make dinner. However, Sheena tells him that she is fine and that she'll cook dinner. Seeing that she is stubborn, he picks her up and asks where she wants to rest. Sheena didn't want Amane to see her apartment, so she chooses Amane's room. So he put her on his bed. When he tries to leave the room, Sheena grabs his pants and wishes him good night. Worrying that she might try to leave, Amane holds her hand and tells her that he will not leave until she falls asleep. The next day, after waking up, Amane went to check Sheena's fever. She still has some left, so he gave her some rice porridge and gelatin. After she ate, he sat down and waited until Sheena fell asleep. She tells him that nobody, not even Koyuki-san, her housekeeper, takes care of her like Amane does. And after Koyuki-san went home, she ended up alone in her house. Amane assures her that with him here, she will not be alone. He shyly admitted that he couldn't bear to see the person he spends all his time with getting sick. He tells her to sleep so she can regain her strength. As Sheena lies down, Amane holds her hand until she falls asleep. It's New Year's Day. Both wish each other a happy new year.